Well, welcome back. We are out on one of my absolute favorite bodies of water. We're on Rainy Lake with my buddy Peter. He's actually been guiding out here for the last 5 or 6 years. You've probably seen him in my last few videos. So if you're interested in booking a trip with him, I'll put all his info down below. We'll get to more of that later because we are going to be doing one of my favorite bites of all time, and that is targeting walleyes shallow. If you know anything about any of these like shield style lakes, they're going to be a super fun bite early, honestly, first half of the summer, where these fish are up shallow on rocks, sometimes in these bays around weeds. Super fun shallow bite, and they're willing to bite on a lot of things, and they are a lot of times aggressive and some good average size. So we're gonna get rolling with some fishing here, and we'll dive into a lot of the details in just a little bit. All right, so we're just rolling up to the first area here. Honestly, the thing that's nice is kind of Peter was explaining is there's so many of these areas that have lots of fish along all these stretches of shoreline. There's a big kind of pot of fish here, pot of fish there. Right here, there's little rocky points that stick out. There's little kind of bays with weeds. So anytime you're finding any sort of weed, any sort of rock, that's gonna be just things you can target. As I kind of pan around, you can even see few fish here and there on the live scope. We're super shallow right now, but like you can see some right back there. Obviously, you do not need forward-facing sonar. Can it help maybe pinpoint some fish? Absolutely. But this is one of those bites where you can come out here and have basically no electronics, just be able to see with your eyes, whether it's, like I said, weeds or rock points. Just a super fun bite that really anybody can do.
Try to catch that sucker. There, he saw you.
He did. Here you got bit. Just had to set it on the ground. Oh, he spit it. Oh, I was just about to give it to him. Just needed it sitting there. There we go. There we go, hanging out on bottom. We were just working out. There's some of these rocks and weeds and stuff. Ah, nice golden fish. And saw some pushed off onto this a little bit more of a flat. And needed it just sitting on there. Show you that right on the old Ned Rig. Had to go a little more finessey. They wanted it just sitting on bottom. Even that one chase. But great start to the day here. You can see, I'll show you that right there. That is the jig crawler eye candy. It's perfect, it's buoyant, so it sits right up nice on that Ned Rig like that. But anytime I can catch fish on artificials, it's one of my favorite things to do. There we go. Right on bottom. I love how stout all these fish are. Like they're all just beefy. Here we go. We got another one on the old Ned Rig. Again, what we're seeing is kind of like I was sharing, these points, some of these weedy areas that are sticking out, but some of these have pushed off just a little bit, and they're wanting to feed down right now. They're wanting it chased right on bottom. You know, you can see those ones go right down to it, and that one actually thumped it a little more right away instead of just following, letting it sit down there. I'll pot out back here. I'm gonna be spooking them here if I keep going, so I'm gonna go up ahead a little bit more. There we go.
Got him.
Yep. About the same. That one just, whoa.
Nice, pretty gold color on that one.
Nice golden fish.
Oh, look at that big pike following it.
They're big pike.
Big pike following it.
I don't know if you can see that on the head cam. I don't have a polarizer on, but there's a big pike following that smallie. Oh geez, that's why. These shallow fish are so fun. I mean, we're still sitting in 4 to 6 feet. Beautiful, dark walleye. This one, oops, there you go. Apparently my drag was set very loose. All these fish have come in this relatively small area, which is kind of fun when you find a little point, find a little spot that's kind of holding these fish, and you can get into a few like this. Oh, that one's going down for you. Come on. Yup. That was fun to watch on the scope. These ones pushed off a little bit. Oh yeah. That'll eat.
That'll eat.
There we go.
Nice little eater walleye.
So, add one to the box here, another fish. This has just been our first little spot, honestly. One little point, a little bit of a shoreline, and now we're working out towards this little bit of a flat. We're only in like, I don't know, 5-6 feet of water. So I love chasing these shallow walleyes like this. That one, was that on a Ned Rig?
That was on a Ned Rig, yep.
That one also on a Ned Rig. So yeah, like I said, you can just come to a lot of these points, a lot of these rocks, and you know, it can be catch walleye, smallies, pike. We've caught all of those just in this first little stretch. So we're gonna move on to the next spot here, I think, and just kind of keep bouncing around. That's the nice thing, is literally everywhere you look, there looks like there's fishy stuff. Obviously, that's the benefit of hiring somebody like Peter, who's fished all of these 100 times. So he knows, you know, because all it looks so good. So he knows kind of which ones are gonna hold fish. We came right up to this point, right away to this first spot, and you know, we picked off some fish. So if you take even a day to hire someone like Peter, it will pay dividends, because it will just cut down on that learning curve big time. So first spot, we're gonna move over to another one here. All right, well, we are just pulling up to spot number 2. A little bit different. We have kind of these sand to rock transition. There's like a little bit of a beach here, some rocks, and some cabbage. So a little bit of everything, which is kind of nice. And you know, I just absolutely love Rainy Lake. I've told you that before. You've seen my videos in the past. I've stayed up at Sunset Country Outfitters with Matt. You know, his resort where he guides, that's a little different part of the lake. Peter's more on like that eastern, southern, a lot of times on the American side as well. And so if you're looking to either stick on the American side, come over to this part of the lake. Obviously, Peter's a great one to look up. And my favorite thing about any part of Rainy here is just how beautiful it is. I mean, just as we were driving, there's islands, there is this shoal rock, there's beaches, there's these beautiful trees. You just don't see it back home. You know, this Canadian Shield, and it's not that far. You know, for me, it was like a 3-hour drive up to like the International Falls area. So it's a really easy way, very accessible to have this very much like almost fly-in feel, where it's just this gorgeous scenery. So a little bit of a rant there, but as we were driving, I just really appreciated seeing some different views. So we're gonna move out here to this little second area. We got some sand, start kind of by that sand beach and work towards that rock transition. Yeah, they're just hanging out in a lot of areas out here.
Thought you were loading up there. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, damn.
Get out of that. There's a little reed there. I'm gonna spot lock us here, bump us over to the side. This one might be another little eater.
Close.
Woo.
Go right in the net. No, I should put my rod down.
We got a lot going on here. We got fish being caught. There's been like this. So like I said, we were just starting on that beach. You can probably see it in the GoPro even. Beach over there, and there's like a little bit of weeds mixed in, kind of scattered on there. And there's been these like little pods of fish. Another beautiful, dark, golden walleye. You know, another thing I will say too is look for areas that the wind is blowing into them. You know, today we don't have a ton of wind, but that's one thing Peter's recommended a lot. And obviously it's not a huge surprise if you've ever done much walleye fishing. When you find areas that the wind is beating into, like this one, ooh, he picked it up, but then he dropped it. This sandy beach, there's not a lot of wind, like I said, but there is wind blowing into it. Same thing with that first point, there's wind blowing into it. That is definitely areas that are gonna congregate fish just a little bit more. Oh, swung and missed. Still kind of hanging out. God, they are not very far. Like 25 feet on this side now. Just kind of working, almost not necessarily a weed edge, but you can see a few weeds and you're feeling them. And they're kind of working a little bit where it gets just a touch deeper and those weeds drop off, it seems. Is it hard to know when I'm talking to you and when I'm talking to the camera?
A little bit. I kind of have figured it out now, though.
I know,
Like,
I always feel bad for people when I'm filming. And like, my brain just goes, so when I have a thought, I just say it.
yeah.
Ooh, hello. Good little pod. See if I can stay away from these guys. 40, 50 feet. Seems like by the time I actually let you cast over to them, we're either on top of them or I've caught one. I'm not being a very good friend. Ooh, following you.
Is he?
Yep. Come on. Oh yeah. There he started diving down a little more.
Oh, yeah, there you bet.
Yes. You bet. See what happens when I
Walleye.
actually let you cast first?
That might be an eater.
Oh, these shallow fish are so fun. I mean, we're still sitting in 4 to 6 feet. Another beauty. Got all that clutter down there, but you can still see them. Shallow water, that happens. Oh yeah, they're going down for it. Yep. That is more like it. So fun. You see that whole little group diving down.
Another smaller.
Just a smaller one. Whoa, 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 whoa. He got my, hello. He got my eye candy plastic all twisted up. Oh, it came out.
Ooh, there's a bump.
There's one right there. Another little guy.
Didn't, oh, there, he picked it up.
You bet. Little better?
A little better. Yeah, that's a better one for sure. For sure.
It looked bigger. Don't want to bonk it. There we go. That's another better one. Back on a little better quality. Went through that kind of pod of some smaller ones. Back on a little better quality. As you can see, we're up hitting some of these islands. There's so many of these like little islands and things. And so we had sand, some weeds, and then transitioning more again to rock. So many things that these fish can be around. And like I always say in my videos, anytime you can add another element, whether it's sand, rock, transition, weeds, whatever it is, there's gonna be fish around. So that's what's so cool about this lake and these areas is it doesn't take every 50 feet, there's more things that these fish could be around. So just keep driving around. Even if you, like I said, even if you don't have some of the electronics or things like that, being able to drive around and cast in a lot of these areas and you're gonna find fish. Peter did switch it up to the old Tom Wynn special, the black on black for that high contrast. Even in the stained water like this, that contrast can be so good.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Yes. There, he ate it. Did it?
Yep.
You bet. There, he came back. Yes. Another quality fish. Love seeing them in this tannic water, just swimming down there. They look so golden. It's so fun fishing these Ned rigs like this. You just see that fish dive straight down the bottom. Solid fish. One more beautiful, dark, Rainy Lake walleye. Well, that is a super fun bite. That was literally 2 spots out of the, I don't know, probably hundreds that Peter has up here. And a fun little morning of fishing. I don't know, I just can't say enough about, one, this lake, but the shallow bite, the cool scenery. And this bite isn't a short bite either. I'm just gonna have Peter kind of share what the transitions look like through the season, what the progression looks like through the season here.
Yeah, normally fishing this shallow bite through June, then come early July, mid-July, we'll switch over and fish a lot of the main lake humps and things like that. All fun fishing, all great fishing. One of the best things about up here is the fish bite all day as well. So anytime somebody wants to come out, it's always good fishing up here.
Yeah, that's a great point to add. One of the reasons why I love coming up here is the day bite can be sometimes even better than like the early morning and late evening. So that's another added bonus up here. And if you're interested in like checking out Peter's guide service, it's Yellow Cabin Guide Service. I will link all his website, his socials, his contact information. I will link all of that below. He's booking trips throughout all the summer here, and it'll be, like I said, once you get out to that reef bite, it's a ton of fun too, especially if you're interested in learning a little bit about forward-facing sonar. You know, Peter's got his forward-facing sonar dialed in. He can kind of show you how to live scope on some of these humps and some of that kind of stuff. So super fun bite. Coming up here, I just can't come up here enough. But hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something. And if it doesn't do anything else, hopefully it gives you a little encouragement to get up north and fish some of these shield lakes like this. As always, thanks so much for watching. Peter, thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.